Hi everybody, Jim Gray Wolf, along the banks of Oak Creek. Okay, so I'm glad you are enjoying these little videos I'm doing. Thank you for the feedback. So yes, I will try to do more as we go along. And I appreciate all your words. I don't do them just to hear myself. I hear myself too much anyway. But if they're doing some good for all of us right now, I'm happy to do more. I wanted to tell a little story that happened to me yesterday. Not sure why, but maybe because right now we have to be compassionate with everybody and everything. We're going through a lot. I know many of you who are online see all the posts I do, and here in the physical realm. People are going through amazing stuff. Some are misinterpreting what's going on. Others have a pretty clear idea, I think. But we still have to get through it, and it can be painful, and things happen. And beings are leaving. A lot of beings are leaving, and more are going to. That isn't necessarily a bad thing. When our time comes, our time comes. We join the universal energy up in the universe, with God, if you will. To me, God is a collective energy of all of us and the universe. And then we wait until we come back again. That's an indigenous way of looking at it. It's the way I've been trained and what I accept. But whatever your path, it doesn't matter. Yesterday, I dropped off my one dog, my one partner, Shiloh. He has some subcutaneous lumps. I think they're just fatty, but I wanted the vet to check. So he went to stay for the day with the vet. And they love him. They had him roaming all around the offices. They just think he's awesome. He is. And he thinks so too. And I went off with my other dog, Crystal. So we decided to go take a little walk around town I was in nearby. And as we did so, I was walking with her. I saw this woman sitting on the side, obviously very distressed. And I just said hi as we approached, and Crystal went over to her. And she said, hi. I said, you okay? Or, no, I'm fine. There's an older couple that I'm working with. I came to tell them that their dog, who is now 17 or 18 years old, I think 17, I believe, there's nothing else that can be done for him. He's in a lot of pain now. There's cancer and some other issues. And he's been with him this whole time. They're now 80, both of them. And they don't know how to process this. They're really hurting, and they asked me to step out for a while. They're in there with their dog. And I said, oh, wow. I know how these things go. And I do. I walk a spiritual road, and I've been there for many humans and creatures who are getting ready to take their walk. Not my favorite part. Matter of fact, my least favorite part of what I do. But if I can help, might I help to, I don't know, ease their way, to explain to them? And she kind of looked at me and she said, boy, if you would, you're not connected to this. And it might help. But how do you feel about that? And I said, I feel fine. Is the dog with them? Yes. I said, well, why don't you go ask them if they would like it. I do work with animals. I do a lot of healing work. I do shamanic work. I do spiritual work and ceremonies, and just whatever you need to tell them. And if they would like me to come in and be with the dog and them and talk a little or help with a prayer, whatever I can do, I'm happy. So she went away. She's probably gone 15 minutes or so. I thought she wasn't coming back, or, it was a no thank you. But she came back and she said, wow, they would welcome you coming in if that's okay, if you're still willing. And yeah, sure. So I went in. And so they were there, husband and wife, both 80, holding each other's hands. and their other hands were on their dog. He was 17. He was hurting. In my shamanic work, I can connect with humans, creatures, anything. And so I did. And I connected with the pup. And he was in a lot of pain. And he felt me. And I could feel him welcoming me and asking me to help with his, I believe he had a word for like partners for this couple, the husband and wife. But he knew it was his time. He said he was hurting too much. He didn't want to leave them. He knew they didn't want him to leave. But he knew this wasn't going to get any better, and it was going to get much worse quickly. I sat with that a few minutes, and then I spoke to them. I didn't tell them that I was communing with the dog. I just said I could feel the dog and his pain. And I said, may I do a little bit of the healing work I do with the dog? But I want you to understand, I'm not going to be able to heal the dog. Only the dog can do that, and only Creator knows when. It's our time. But maybe I could take some of the pain for a little bit. And they chatted for a moment, and they said, yes, please, if you would. And so I sat with him for maybe 20 minutes. Now, Crystal had come in and was waiting in another room. And the woman who had been outside and invited me in, was actually a vet in training, knocked on the door and said, Crystal's right here, like scratching the door, and can she come in? So she did. And Crystal went right over. Crystal's my little 16-year-old partner, and sat with this pup as I proceeded to do what I could. And I knew I felt the pain easing up. And sure enough, maybe after 15 minutes, 20 minutes, I don't know, the pup got up and started moving around, much better. His tail was wagging. He went over to the husband and wife, and they were just so happy. And I said, let me just remind you, this is temporary. This gives him a little relief. This gives you all a chance to be able to connect and play and do something for a little bit. But I don't know how long it'll last. It might last 10 minutes. It might last a few hours. It might last a day. I never know. So they were asking me questions, and I said, yeah, okay. To answer one, in my way, his energy will go up into the universe and connect with all the energies. To me, there's no difference between a human energy, a dog energy, a cat energy, a gorilla energy, whatever. It's all energy. We all go back to source. And I sensed from your dog that he would be there when your time came. As everything else that is left is there, unless they've come back again. So they played with him maybe 45 minutes to an hour. We were all there. My dogs are here now. And they were playing with him. Crystal was going back and forth. Crystal came and sat by me. And then Crystal would go over with that dog a little bit as the dog played with this couple. And I felt the darkness and the pain and suffering lift some. Like a window was granted. And I've seen this before. Please know this sort of thing is possible. Anybody can do it. Yes, I've trained with it. I've used this medicine for many, many years. But anybody can show compassion. And if you show compassion, results happen. And then I saw the pup start to limp again, start looking at me. He's wagging his tail. And I knew time was coming close. And they knew it too. And the wife, I assume the wife, the woman of the two, looked over at me and said, we know. And yes, it's time now. And boy, thanks. This was quite a gift. And I told him, for me too. And so I went out and asked the woman to come in and get ready. I said, we want to use this this is his bed over here. Let's do it there. And so I won't go into detail on this, there's no need. But it came together. Crystal went and stood a few feet away. I was there. The couple was there, right with him, hands on him. I stood back a bit, obviously, to give space. I held energy. And as he took his leave, his tail wagged twice. And I felt him go through me as he left. Now, I have felt this before with humans and with animals. It is such an incredible gift. I think it's a thank you. I really do. And a final message that I'm okay. And then he was gone, and it was over. And I spoke with them a little more. And they were crying, so was I. Crystal went and sat with them. 10 minutes or so, I'm assuming. And then I knew it was time for me to go. Anyway, they have my number. They can call and we can follow up and talk a little more, whatever they need. It seems like a horrible thing, a loss, and it is. Whenever anyone leaves, even if we know energetically we'll connect again, or even if we think we won't, it can be really difficult, painful. Someone you love. It doesn't matter if they have 4 legs or 2 legs or wings, it does not matter. But it's also a beautiful thing. And you can make it more beautiful. I did nothing special. I did what I'd been taught to do by others. I did what some had done for me before. Think about it right now. Anything, any little thing. Invite someone to dinner. Sit and talk to somebody. Make someone a cup of tea. Hold someone while they're going a bit whiffy, because it's a lot of that out there. Whatever. Small acts of compassion, small ones even, can mean a ton right now. That's all. I just wanted to share that. Thank you for listening. Thank you for hearing me. I would love to hear your comments on this. I really would. And I will see you again soon. Love you all. Bye-bye.